Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world. We're back with another episode. It was a late night, I'm not going to lie. Date night with the wife last night. Got to go to a comedy show in downtown Portland. You know, for as much, there's no other way to say it, for as much shit talking as people do about Portland, and it's not the Portland it used to be, but it's still awesome. We had a great time last night. Downtown Portland, we were in Southeast. Still a beautiful city. Got a chance to see some great comedians. Got to spend the night with my wife, which always is special. Night. Good morning, Ben. Can you guys hear me okay? Does my audio sound good? So, I did lose a little bit of my voice, so we're going to make the best out of it this morning. Great week here in the Northwest. Very gloomy this week outside, but it is not preventing people from getting excited about the upcoming home buying season, which I've been saying for a while, and I still believe that starting early this year. The smart people are out, they're contacting me, they're getting pre-approved, they're getting ready for when that right opportunity, that right home presents themselves, they can go ahead and make an offer. So it's good to see. The feds are meeting next week, this coming week. So that's going to be really exciting to see. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Thanks, Ben. Good morning. I think that's Diana living in Vancouver, Washington, the original. Thanks for being on this morning. So we've got one property we're going to look at. If you guys want to see another one, throw an address in. I'd be more than happy to pull it up and do one on the spot. But I got one house for us to go over today. And we're going to kind of go back to basics. A couple weeks ago, we had somebody in chat want to know more about amortization. We covered that last week. I might bring that spreadsheet back up today and go over that a little bit as well. But how about we start, where should we start? Let's start with Mortgage News Daily. So Mortgage News Daily is my go-to website for all things interest rates. They give us the most unbiased national average of interest rates. And they've also got great articles. If you want to understand what's happening this week with the feds and what the market's expecting, there's a great article here. Some people say they might cut. We'll see. It's very unpredictable what the feds are going to do this week, in my opinion, but this is a good article if you want to know more about what's going to happen. 30-year fixed conventional mortgages, 6.9, ticked up. You know, they're ticking up also slightly the last couple weeks, but I would say more than anything, they're starting to stabilize. Now, that could change after the Fed's meeting. We'll see how the market reacts to their announcement. 15-year, 6.31, jumbo. We're really seeing that margin between conforming loans and jumbo loans. The difference being a loan amount over $766,000 is considered jumbo. That margin's changing constantly week after week. It's 7.26 on jumbo now, which has ticked up a little bit. But that margin between a conforming and a jumbo loan is starting to compress again. Our government loans, FHA 6.20. Guys, we're so close to seeing 5%. I can't wait till we do. VA 6.25 for all of our veterans out there. So these are the interest rates we're going to use in all of our analysis we do on this stream. Your experience may vary depending on which lender you're going to use. So these aren't necessarily my company's interest rates. They're the national average. That's what we're going to use today. How about some statistics sent to us every week by the one and only Gavin Huckins over at Berkshire Hathaway. Let's start with our weekly market snapshot. New listings, 107 new listings hit the market last week in Clark County, Southwest Washington. That's down 30% from the week prior. I think a lot of this might have to do with that big snowstorm we had. Pending sales. So homes that were on the market that went into contract, accepted an offer, but did not close, 119, again, down 30%. And we closed 70 transactions in Clark County last week. That's down 20% or 23%. So it'll be interesting to see now that the holidays are over, the storm's over. I think this may be one of the last weeks we see these numbers down from the week prior. So it'll be fun to watch. Lockbox activity. So anytime a real estate agent opens a lockbox on a house that's for sale, that data is collected and sent and is presented here. So lockbox activity in the state of Washington, fairly flat, 0.8%. For Oregon, down 9.4%. So if we look back to this time last year, it's a little bit down. And that makes sense. We're coming off of all-time high, well, not all-time, but very high interest rates, the highest we've seen since probably 2007. You know, we were looking at interest rates as high as 8% just not so long ago, back in November, October, November. Thanks, Gavin, for sending those over. You guys ready? So I talk a lot about when is a good time to buy on this stream, and in this market, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's when the right opportunity presents itself. And I think that the home I'm going to show you guys today is going to fit a lot of people's box for what they're looking for. You know, it's January now. I've been talking with home buyers that are like, well, I don't want to buy until the summer, till school's out. Guys, I know it's still wintertime, but if you're wanting to be in a new house in June, you're going to be writing offers in March and April. So 45 days away. So let's take a look. So just like on every stream, I'm pretty much looking at this property for the first time with you. I do go through and pull some data to prepare for the stream, but for the most part, you're going to get a live reaction from me as we look at this home for the first time together. So 19707 Southeast 42nd Street in Camas. 4 beds, 4 baths, 2,400 square feet. So do you guys see what I'm saying here? Camas, some of the best schools in the state of Washington. Highly desirable area. 4 beds, right? So I have a young family. We need more space. We want to be in a good school district. I don't want to spend $1 million to be in Camas. So this fits our location. This fits our size. 2,400 square foot is a good size. This house does have a 3rd car garage. I'm getting 4 bedrooms, and I'm under $700,000. This home was sent to us this morning by Diana Rutherford. She's going to be holding this home open today. Diana, remind me the hours of your open house today. Go ahead and put that in chat, please, if you don't mind, so everyone will know. So this home was built in 2000. Let's read the description here. Location, location, location. I didn't even read that description before the stream. You know, being in Camas for under $700,000, the location is going to check a lot of boxes for people. Established neighborhood. Not everyone loves new construction. It's really nice to have a mature neighborhood with mature landscaping. Diana's going to be holding it open today from noon until 2. So you have a 2-hour window to go by her open house. Great neighborhood and schools. Upstairs deck provides partial views of the Columbia River. So I'm getting Columbia River views for under $700. Big backyard, fence, sprinkler system. Short walk to restaurants, groceries, and grocery shopping. Let's take a look at the map here. So Camas is going to be in southeast of Vancouver. And this home is a really good location, close to Highway 14, close to 205, close to Lacamas Lake, close to downtown Camas. I like the retaining wall in the front, it levels out the yard. House has good curb appeal, like the brick. All right, thank you, Diana. So the schools, Grass Valley Elementary, Skyridge Middle School, and Camas High School. You know, yes, this house looks like it's from late 90s, early 2000s, but I kind of like that. There's some neighborhoods in Richfield and Mount Vista, kind of over where I live, that are these neighborhoods that have this era home, and they still kind of test the time, and they have their own character with the brickwork and the style of the homes. And I think that that's going to kind of be a positive thing, be a trend going forward, being a desirable, mature neighborhood from that time frame. All right, so kitchen. Nothing wrong with this kitchen. Turnkey, move-in ready, very clean, tile floors, solid, looks like granite countertops. But there's room for updating if you wanted to come in and put your own touch on this home. Be very easy to do, very, very inexpensive. So Diana tells us that this house has air conditioning and gas heat. There's a gas fireplace. Diana, you may not know this, but what's the height on those ceilings? Are they 8-foot ceilings, 9-foot ceilings? Gas range. Looks like laminate hardwood flooring or laminate wood flooring. So this looks like our first bedroom here. Or is that the loft? This is a loft. So stairs go up the stairs into a loft area. Looks like we're back downstairs, dining room. You know, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but for this price range, you know, you could replace that light fixture, put some fresh paint in the wall, and really update this home for not a lot of money. So dining room into a family room area. So this looks like a guest bath. Again, very easy to update this. You know, we're not talking a lot of money. Replacing that shower with something more modern would be really easy to do. DIY Home Depot deal. Cabinets, vanity, the light fixtures. And it looks like they've replaced this vanity. So this is another guest bath, the different vanities. So you can make them all match. It wouldn't take a lot of money. Costco sells those bath vanities now, all one piece. All right, guest bedroom. Again, take down that track lighting, put a nice light fixture in, put different closet doors on, bring it up to date really easy. Okay, now we're back. No, this is not downstairs. I think we're still upstairs. Maybe the master bedroom has a fireplace. Very nice. Okay, good tip, Diana. Looking at pictures, I'm a ceiling height guy. I'm 6 foot tall. My wife doesn't really care. She's 5'2". But I like tall ceilings. And a good way to identify, according to Diana, how tall the ceilings are, the space between the top of the doors and the ceilings. So she believes these are 8-foot ceilings. Okay, Diana, you're gonna have to help me out. I think I was wrong about the fireplace being in the master. Oh, no, it is in the, I believe it's in the master. Is that fireplace in the master or is that the living room? The great room. Now I'm thinking it's the great room. And Diana, this is not your listing, correct? You're just holding it open today? Here's our utility room. I believe this was off the kitchen. This may be our master. Okay, so dual sinks in the vanity. You can tell they've updated some of the bathrooms. There's 2 bathrooms with these cabinets, and the other one has the original vanity. The reason I asked Diana if this is your listing is for the real estate agents out there, when you're putting your pictures on, when you're uploading them on Zillow, I've never done it. I don't know how it works. But there's a big difference when I look at a property, especially on the stream, and the pictures walk me through the house in that order. These pictures, I'm very confused on what room I'm in. Am I upstairs? Am I downstairs? I see a picture of the loft, and then I see a picture of the utility room downstairs. I can't tell where I'm at. So really put some thought into the order of the pictures you have on your listings. With all due respect to whoever is listing this home. You know, I may be speaking out of turn, but I'm looking at this home like, let's write an offer on it. I think there's some room here. The seller doesn't have light bulbs in the fixture. They haven't put a lot of effort into staging this home and getting it looking good. So that tells me, hey, I'm going to take all that down anyways and put up my own line fixtures. Nothing wrong with that jet tub. But wouldn't it be hard to rip that out and put maybe a nice freestanding tub in there? Really dress up this master bath. And Diana's last comment about how she's holding it open, but it's not her listing. We're going to talk about that in a second because that's a great question to ask an agent when you are at an open house. Okay, I believe this is a bonus room, or am I still in the master? Still in the master. So dual closets. They're not walk-in, but dual closets. Back downstairs. Nice deck. There's our river views. High-end homes in the background. Fenced backyard. Okay, so there's a deck off the master, which is nice. Okay. I went through those pictures kind of quick. They weren't great, I'm not gonna lie. Here's the reason I want to stop and talk about Diana here for a second. So Diana is not the listing agent on this home, but she's holding it open. That's very, very, very common. So when you are going to an open house, I would ask, are you holding this house open and are the listing agent, or are you not the listing agent? If the answer is not a listing agent, that's a great opportunity to talk to that agent and see if they're the right fit to represent you. Because you want your own representation. You don't want to go into an open house and use the listing agent as your representation because they're representing the sellers. Diana is one of the best real estate agents in Camas, local Camas, lives in Camas, Camas expert. So you can go meet her today and see if she'd be the right fit, which I know she would, to represent you in this transaction. So when you're at an open house, ask that question. What do you guys think about that home? Let's go back and look at it. And Diana, I'm curious in your thoughts too. Do people ask you that question when they come into an open house? You know, this whole stream is about building your confidence in buying a home and buying it in a smart way. And that comes down to little tips and tricks like that. Like, am I at an open house? Are you representing the seller, or can you represent me? A lot of the real estate agents I work with meet their buyers at an open house, but then sell them a different home. Maybe this one doesn't check all their boxes, but they like the real estate agent. They're going to work well together. It's a great way to go meet real estate agents. They're not lazy because they're taking their Saturday morning away from their personal lives and are holding a home open, so you know they're working. It's just a great idea to go meet real estate agents and find some representation that way. Good morning. Details home inspection, lots of potential, 3-car garage, very desirable for rental income. Okay. So like I said in the beginning, this is going to check a lot of boxes. A lot of people are waiting for a home like this to come on the market. Went off on a little bit of a tangent there, so let's bring it back together and look at some numbers. So I put together two options for us to look at, and we're going to talk about amortization a little bit, and we'll see where this goes. There's a lot of ways to finance this home for a lot of different reasons. The reason I'm starting with FHA is FHA, like we've talked about a bunch on the stream, is not a first-time home buyer program, but it is designed for people that are getting started in home ownership or maybe moving up from their first home into their second home. Lower down payment, easier qualifying, and this price range for that square footage, it falls right in line with an FHA. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with going with FHA on this property. I believe there's a coffee waiting for me outside, so I'll be right back. How's everyone's New Year's resolutions going? I'm on this fasting diet. And my wife was very nice, made me a cup of coffee, but then she's making our daughter sausage, and it smells like Jimmy Dean in the house. Very, very not nice to do when your husband's fasting. Okay, Diane, I love it. There's definitely some buying power here with seller concessions. Look, if I'm not going to replace the light bulbs before I have pictures taken of my house to put on Zillow, I might be willing to negotiate too. Okay, FHA. Purchase price $697. We're putting 3.5% down on FHA, so not a lot down. Brings our loan amount to $685,048. Let's see if anybody can get the secret question here. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. We're putting 3.5% down, and our loan amount is $685,048. Who can tell me what's wrong there? If you do, you get a honorable mention. Interest rate, again, pull that off of mortgagenewsdaily.com, 6.2. I'm going to click on our more info link, bring us to a payment breakdown. Principal and interest with the 3.5% down at 6.2 is $41.95. Property taxes, $429. Not bad to be in one of the best school districts in the state of Washington. Really not bad. Homeowners insurance. We have yet to have a homeowners insurance agent on the live stream. There's lots of people in the chat that know really good insurance agents here in Clark County. Give them a hard time. Give Tina a hard time. Gavin, if you see Jeff, give him a hard time, although he might be on vacation. But it'd be great to have an insurance agent here to answer some questions, especially when we're looking at homes that may be a little older. So homeowners insurance is there to protect the home in case of a burglary or a fire or something of that nature. You're going to be somewhere between $50 and $100 a month depending on which insurance company you choose and what coverages you elect. We're going to use $75 today. This is the big one. We talk about it a lot on this stream. Mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance does nothing for you other than allows you to put less than 20% down. If a homeowner has a mortgage with mortgage insurance and they default on their payments and they stop making their payments and they go into foreclosure, the mortgage insurance company is going to reimburse the investor or the lender a percentage of the balance. So it offsets the risk for a lender to lend to somebody with less than 20% down or less collateral. FHA has two forms of mortgage insurance. The first is a monthly mortgage insurance at $278 a month. That's going to change depending on your loan amount. FHA mortgage insurance is for the life of the loan. So you cannot apply to have it removed, get an appraisal, do all that in the future. The only way to remove that mortgage insurance on FHA is to refinance or sell the house. And the consensus is interest rates are going to come down over the next 36 months. So you're probably going to be refinancing anyways. So if we add these four numbers together, we get a total payment of $49.78. How does that number sit with you? That should be a question that everybody that's helping you, your lender, me, your real estate agent, should be asking you that question. How does that number sit with you? And there's no right or wrong answer to that question, but you should be asking yourself that question. If you are buying the house with somebody else, a spouse, you should be asking them that question. And there's going to be one of three answers. Wow, $49.78. That's way more than I was planning on. I really want to get in the Camas School District, but I just don't think I can swing that. Good. Another answer may be Oh yeah, that's right in my budget. I'm under $5,000, perfect. For my accountants, CPAs, engineers, those types of clients usually tell me that's exactly what I calculated. So there's no right or wrong answer, but it's important to let that number sit with you. How does that make me feel? And it may mean this is the perfect house for the price range or for the budget I'm in for what I qualify for. It may mean that, hey, look, maybe I can get something a little nicer, a little newer. Maybe this is under my budget. Maybe I need to communicate to my real estate agent that, that's quite a bit out of my budget. We need to be looking at some different search criteria. Okay, closing costs. Down payment. $24,395. Again, we're putting 3.5% down. Nobody's tried to answer the secret question today. Closing costs are going to be around $36.91. That's going to cover your title and escrow fees, which is the majority of that. We need to get some title people on here to answer some questions. So title and escrow fees, that's going to include your county recording fees, and that's going to include your lender fee. We charge a flat $14.50 to do the loan. We do not charge any 1% origination fees, junk fees, anything like that. There are two numbers that are not included in that $36.91. The first is going to be your home inspection. The home inspection company we trust here on the My Mortgage Hound live stream is Details Home Inspections. They're almost always in the chat on the call. Their social media has become some of the best real estate social media that I know of. I learn something almost every time they make a post. Those are going to run, what do you think on a house like this? Somewhere between $300 and $500, $300 and $600, somewhere in there. Home inspections are not required by your lender, but they are highly encouraged. Home inspections are great. Not only do you know if there's anything majorly wrong with the house, but you will get a nice report that shows you little things that you can use as a punch list once you're in the house. It's also good for negotiating. Let's say there's some minor repairs that need to be done to the house. You can consult with your real estate agent like Diana. And Diana mentioned, this house is a great opportunity to maybe write an offer, maybe an aggressive offer, maybe ask for seller concessions. We can use that home inspection to ask for more seller concessions. Detail says around $600 for a home inspection. If we find one thing, it covers the cost of our fee to fix it. Absolutely. $600 is not a lot of money for that kind of peace of mind, especially on a home built in 2000. But even on new construction, always get a home inspection. Okay, the second item that's not included in that $36.91 is your home appraisal. Home appraisals are not always required, but they are at FHA. FHA is always going to require an appraisal. Those were $800. You pay the appraiser directly through their website at the time of appraisal. Everything else is included in that $36.91. Points, we're not going to cover points for the simple reason that Mortgage News Daily does not build points into their rates. When I say they give you unbiased rates, that's the main reason. If I go to Quicken, if I go to some of these other bankrate.com online mortgage companies, when I look at their interest rates, there's going to be 1 asterisk here, 2 asterisks here, 4 asterisks here. You got to scroll all the way down to that fine print, and you're going to find that a lot of times they may be charging 1 or 2 points to get that rate. And a point is just a percentage of the loan amount. So 1 point here would cost us, if we go back to our loan amount, $6,850 for every point. So points are used to buy down the interest rate. Points change daily. When we say we want to buy a home in a smart way, you have to do the math. We've done it on previous episodes of how long is it going to take me to recoup those points, and make sure you're doing it in a smart way. But because we're using Mortgage News Daily, we're not going to include any points today. FHA charges 2 forms of mortgage insurance. This is the second. Our first was the monthly amount. This is the second. This is an upfront funding fee is what they call it. It's a lot, $12,000. But that gets financed into the loan. It's not coming out of your pocket. Nobody guessed my secret question, but if I'm putting 3.5% down, Cody, how come my loan to value ratio is 98.29? Shouldn't it be 96.5? And I'm no math wizard, Cody, but if I'm putting 3.5% down, my loan amount should be lower by about $12,000 than $685. This is the reason why. Okay, is we're adding that funding fee to the loan amount, which is why we, instead of showing 96.5 for a loan to value ratio, it's showing 98.29 because we're adding in that funding fee. And it is partially refundable depending on when you sell the home or refinance. A portion of that will come back to you. Prepaid taxes, insurance, and interest, $6,000. This is going to cover the prorated interest for the month we close in. So like we talked about earlier, people that are wanting to buy this summer, this is, start your timeline now. The buying season starts now. And the reason I bring that up again is because let's say we closed May 15th, or let's say we closed April 15th. But my lease isn't up until May. I got school. I want to wait till school's out. Well, if we close on April 15th, there's going to be 15 days remaining in the month. We're going to collect those 15 days here. Then our first payment's not going to be due until June 1st. We're not going to have a May payment. Your mortgage payments are always paid in the rear, meaning when I make my June 1st payment, that covers all of May. And the last 2 weeks in April are covered in my prepaids. So it's going to feel like I skip a payment, even though you don't get any free time in the house, but it's going to feel. So that will definitely come into play with your timeline. If you're trying to beat that busy buying season and get in early, know that you have about a month before your first payment's due. This is also going to cover your first year of homeowner's insurance premium. It's going to start your escrow impound account. So we're going to deposit X amount of months worth of property taxes and insurance into that account, so there's enough funds in there when those bills are due. Property taxes and CAMIS, April and October. Homeowners insurance every 12 months. Every time you make your payment, the insurance portion, the taxes portion will be added to that account, so there's enough funds in there to cover those bills when they're due. When you do refinance or sell, whatever money is in that account will be refunded back to you. So if we add these three numbers together, we get a total out-of-pocket expense of $34,086. But you know what? Those light bulbs really bother me, so I'm going to write an aggressive offer. Let's say, take my calculator out here. Let's say I want to come in with just my down payment. We take the 34,000, subtract 24,000. Get a difference of $96.91. We're going to ask the sellers to pay that for us. And on this analysis, that's going to go right here under contributions. So we're asking the seller to give us $96.91 in contributions. Bringing our cash to close to $24,395, which is just our down payment. So coming in 24 grand out of pocket to get a 2,400 square foot home, 3-car garage, 4-bedroom in Camas. That's why I went FHA today, to really show how you can do it. on the cheap. Roof is original. I would build that into the offer. You know, if you go see Diana today, ask her about structuring an offer. Even if this isn't the right house, you know, how do we write an aggressive offer? A lot of people would come in and go, oh, I'm going to lowball these guys. I'm going to offer them $640. There's a link in the description to schedule a 15-minute phone call with me. We can do one of these analysis specifically for you. And lowballing somebody may not give you the biggest benefit. Okay? Maybe when I ask that question, how's that payment sit with you? Maybe instead of lowballing, we come in and ask for more seller concessions. We pay for points. We buy down the interest rate. We really get this mortgage dialed into something that you can be very confident and comfortable with. So I think it's a great question to ask Diana when you go see her today, or any real estate agent that you're working with. And again, today's episode is all about getting prepared for the spring. All right, I also put on here a 10% down, kind of in that same mindset. Maybe I'm selling my first home, taking my young family, getting a more square footage. 10% down would make our loan amount $627,300. Interest rate 6.9, again off of the Mortgage News Daily conforming rates. So big spread between conforming and FHA right now. That helps offset that monthly mortgage insurance too on FHA. Okay, if I go to my payment breakdown, principal interest, $41.31. So not a big difference with that higher interest rate, kind of offsets my larger down payment. Property taxes are the same. Homeowners insurance is the same. I got a nice trick I like to do on 10% down or 5% down or 15% down. We're going to buy that mortgage insurance premium out. It's very inexpensive to do right now. So no monthly mortgage insurance, even though we're putting less than 20% down. Total payment, $46.35. Closing costs, let's clean this up a little bit. Closing costs are the same. Here's where we're buying out that mortgage insurance. So it's costing me $23.21. I'm going to ask the sellers to pay that anyways, probably. That buys out the mortgage insurance policy, so I never have to worry about trying to get it to be removed down the road. Yeah, I love buying out that mortgage insurance policy. Prepaids are going to be the same. Total cash to close, $81.72, but let's ask the sellers to pay some of our closing costs. And then we're going to cover one more thing before we get out of here today. Okay, we're asking the seller to give us $12,000, bringing in $69,700, just our down payment. So without paying that mortgage insurance, we're saving $343 a month. I think this is a great option. If you maybe are selling a home, I'm going to roll over some equity. It's like 70 grand. I can be in the Kama School District. The last thing we're going to end on today, and I have my amortization schedule. We'll save that for next week. Really see if I can hold your guys' attention going over that again. But for every $10,000 in loan amount or purchase price, it's going to impact my payment roughly $60 a month. Okay, it's a very rough formula. So it's a great way to analyze my offer. Okay, well, I'm going to come in and really beat these guys up and offer them 40 grand under asking. Well, what's that going to do for you? It's going to save you about $240 a month. But what if I had a great team like Diana and Cody, and we can leverage how we finance the home to get a bigger benefit, pay more in points, buy out the mortgage insurance premium? What else can we do to really get my payment down and get the most out of how aggressive I want to be on my offer? All right, I cannot believe we went 47 minutes on one home. Really had fun this morning. My vitamins that I am taking as part of my New Year's resolution saved my bacon from being at a comedy show last night until late. Thank you if you are still watching, watch the whole episode. Thanks. It means a lot to make it to the end on our algorithm. Please make sure you're like, subscribe, share with other people. If you have a home you want to see live on the stream, send it to me. If you have topics, ideas, anything like that, you want to come on and be a guest, let me know. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you after the Fed's next announcement. Bye.